SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is Into the Weekend with BetDSI NFL Edition, the show we do every week where we talk to Brent, the headlines manager at DSI Sportsbook, and he tells us a little bit about some of the notable action that he's taken for the upcoming slate of games. Right now we're looking ahead to NFL Week 9. Brent, thanks so much for being back with us once again.
Always a pleasure, Peter.
Okay, getting right into it. Here we go again. Two sides. I know they're huge public sides. I know you're probably going to, need them to at least one of them to lose in order to have a big weekend. Saints and Pats, right? Saints got to be a huge public side. I know the set line has moved from 4 to 6. I'm assuming that's all public action. And Pats got to be another big public side, right?
Bad news for us, Peter, is that those two sides you mentioned are public sides and they're sharp sides as well.
Really? Wow. So the sharps are actually betting on the Pats minus 6.5 over the Steelers.
The money on New England came -6 and also -6.5. I'm like -7 dog 15 right now. I also had money line action on New England that was real strong, -260, 250 on the money line. We're up to 270 or 275 right now. And the New Orleans money came in -5. Now, I've taken a little bit of money back at +6 on the Jets, but none of that is noticeable sharp money, not compared to what we took at -5 on New Orleans.
Wow. All right. So if you've gotten like all that sharp action on those two sides, then I'm guessing that you've also had overwhelming public action on them as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the public is always, you just look at it, jumps off the page. New Orleans at the Jets.
Right.
New Orleans should roll right over them. Yeah, if we can get one of those two in, we should be okay.
I was honestly expecting you to say that you did take some sharp action on Pittsburgh at some point, but that hasn't been the case, huh?
No, I mean, just today I went to -7 dog 15, seeing if I can get something back, or just the other thing we kind of do when we're throwing a number out there is just seeing how far people are going to lay it. So They laid the 6 with New England right away. They laid it at 6.5, no problem. I'm sure the public guys will have no problem laying New England, even -7, -5 right now. I doubt the sharps would do that though.
Wow, and you haven't gotten any sharp action on the Steelers, even when you went to 7.
No, like I said, it was only a few hours ago, but right now my count is like about 6-1 in favor of New England. My money is close to the same number.
All right, so if let's say both the Saints and the Pats cover with ease, how bad is that going to be for you? Could it still be a winning day despite that?
Well, yeah. I mean, you take the number, look at the number of games that are on the board. I mean, we kind of got blessed this weekend because Denver's not playing, so they can't blow someone out and go way over the total, and Jacksonville's not playing, so they can't stink and go way under.
All right, then what can you tell us about KC Buffalo? I've noticed that line's been bouncing around a bit, and I heard some speculation that Buffalo at +3 might be a sharp side, but then just today I saw it go all the way up to 5. I guess that's on injury news for the Buffalo quarterback. Now back down to 3.5. You gotten any notable action, or have people mostly just been staying off and waiting and watching?
Generally, people have been staying off that one, but the sharp money that I did take was on Kansas City. That was Kansas City -3, -120. That was a decent bet. Now we're sitting at 3.5. Haven't got a whole lot bet back on Buffalo, but it could be people are just kind of shying away from that. The count isn't as high on that game. It's still about around 3, almost 4-1 in favor of Kansas City. But that includes teasers and stuff like that. Just on straight bets though, it's mostly Kansas City money -3.5 even as well. +4 probably people will come in on Buffalo. Right now we're sitting 3.5. The sharp money though that we did take was on Kansas City -3, -20 as a road favorite.
Wow. All right. So far only sharp money on KC and no sharp money on Buffalo, even when they were at 5 and now 3.5. No.
At this point, no. The money is still like 3-1 in favor of Kansas City. Would kind of matches the count.
Okay, and is the public betting KC? Because I would assume that if they see an undefeated team as just a field goal favorite in any game, that they're going to bet that.
Yeah, Kansas City kind of goes with the public, and the Kansas City under has usually been a public play as well.
All right, and then 3 other huge lines, all of them gone down a bit. Green Bay 11-10, Dallas -10.5. Now they're about 9.5 or 10, and then Seattle was like 16.5. Now they're 14.5. I'm assuming that that's all been as a result of sharp action on the dogs.
Well, starting off with Chicago, there was some big money at +10.5, and there was what I would call kind of sharp money at +10.5 as well. Our money actually at this point is pretty much even though our account favors Green Bay. So yeah, I mean the public is obviously gonna lay Green Bay. They have no problem doing that. But I would say pseudo sharp money on Chicago. But again, there's sometimes guys just come on who have a lot of money and they take the number first and they took a +10.5. That's why we're Green Bay -10, -15 right now. The total there is 50. Dallas is interesting. We're sitting actually at 10 right now, and we took sharp money. Dallas -9.5 actually, and there's some big bets on Minnesota when it was +10.5, but big bets don't necessarily mean sharp money. So we're sitting at 10 right now. I think we're probably going to hover around that area until kickoff, and that seems to be a number where the sharps aren't going to lay the 10. and the money that we took on Minnesota is already kind of taking the 10.5. Public's not going to take Minnesota plus 9.5. They won't take them plus 10 either, I don't think. And the other one you mentioned, Seattle. Yeah, Seattle, we're actually 15.5 right now. We're back up because we did take sharp money at minus 14.5. It was a lot of square money even at plus 15, plus 15 or 15.5 and 16 on Tampa Bay. Nothing really sharp on that one. It was just Tampa Bay. People looking at the points saying, wow, that's just too many points. And like I said, the only sharp money on that one was when it was 14.5 on Seattle.
Really? So all that money on Tampa Bay was actually public money, and then the little sharp money that you have had was on Seattle at minus 14.5.
Yeah, let's call it sharp money with deep pockets on Tampa Bay.
Right.
Sorry,
Wow.
Public money with deep pockets.
All right, but so suffice to say, those are all probably still like big teaser sides, right? The favorites.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle's a big teaser side. Green Bay, Dallas, New Orleans, New England, Indianapolis as well.
All right, so is there any other notable action from the rest of the NFL Week 9 card that you can tell us about?
The thing that jumps out that really we haven't touched on yet is Oakland. We got sharp money on Oakland at home. They're playing Philadelphia. Oakland minus 2 is where the sharp money came in. Philadelphia is a bit of a mess. Their defense doesn't seem like it can stop anybody, and Pryor's looking good for Oakland. So that minus 2 was sharp plays, and I also took sharp money on the Atlanta-Carolina game going over 43.5, and also the New Orleans Jets game going over 45. Now the total in the Jets game were 45.5 right now. The Atlanta sharp money was over 43.5. We're up to 45 right now.
All right, well, thanks once again, Brent, and we will talk to you next week.